Hello, everyone, and welcome to How to Bet, the How to Bet podcast. We're going to show you how to bet, where to bet it, and who to bet on. I'm Daryl Fein along with Sean, the genius, Miller, Ivy Leaguer, Mensa member. He is the genius. Genius. Nobody's smart enough to figure out the NFL. I don't care where you went
to figure this out. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, these teams. Some of these teams are playing well, and then they just completely turn to shit. I'm allowed to say it's a podcast. I can say it. Hey, if
we can say what we want.
Yeah, our executive director. What are you looking at me for? If our executive director wants to beep it out, Tiffany Hartman, let her beep it out. But yeah, these teams are playing well, and then poop.
How about this? So we're now 7 weeks from the end of the season. Now getting into week 11.
Yeah,
75% of the teams in the AFC are at 5-5 or better. Obviously, the Titans are 8-2, but the rest, if you're in the AFC and you're not 500, you're terrible. But it's going to be crazy. And these lines, you see these lines for this week. It's all -1, -2, it's tough, man. And that's not even talking about the double-digit lines that keep losing.
Yeah, it's really it's ridiculous.
Crazy.
It's ridiculous and remarkable at the same time. Even the suicide pool, whatever you want to call it, mine's called the suicide knockout pool, whatever. You can't even win that. It's impossible to even win that. I mean, you have to get in those revival pools because nobody's left.
How about the one with pockets? The pockets one, he does the opposite. You
loser.
have to pick the loser.
You can't even pick the loser.
You can't even do that. It's impossible because you
yeah.
can't pick the same team over and over.
Yeah.
And it's so crazy.
Yeah, so I am starting to figure things out a little bit, though, as far as that goes. And I'm very confident this week. I really am, because I think I have some of this figured out.
Yep.
You really have to look at the lines. So with that, let me tell you, you watching on YouTube, go to howtobet.com for updated previews, injury reports, updated odds, special promotions. There's a lot going on, but you have to get there early and often, especially those line movements. You can kind of see, like that Monday Night Football game between the Rams and San Francisco. A lot of people had the Rams. That line told you something. The line, it went off at 3.5. That told you something. The Rams are the much better team. I know they're playing in San Francisco, and there is a familiarity between the two teams. But at 3, I'm saying to myself, Vegas is telling you something here that smells a little rank. So I actually went with San Francisco in that game before kickoff.
San Francisco owns the Rams, by the way. That's 5 in a row. They swept them the last 2 years, 5 in a row, and they just absolutely own the Rams. And the Rams all of a sudden look, I mean,
average.
Who's the best team in the NFL? Titans?
Don't ask me that question.
I think it's the Titans.
I have no idea. You say the Titans this week, and then they're going to lose to
I'm going to tell you what. I'm going to tell you
pansy.
what. You know who's going to go to the Super Bowl?
Who?
The Kansas City Chiefs.
They're playing well. They
were unbelievable. Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes again, and all of a sudden, I've been talking about this for a few weeks. You're sitting there and you're watching, and you're just like, at some point, the Chiefs are gonna do something. They're gonna think, and all of a sudden, last week, 5 touchdowns, 405 yards.
Finally.
And now it's like something clicked, and you're like, you look at the rest of the AFC. Well, the Bills aren't any good. They're just okay.
They lost to Jacksonville.
The Ravens are.
Lost to Miami.
Who could explain that? They're all over the place. The Titans are good.
It's cattywampus.
But this, it's going to be crazy to watch this in the and then this thing with the flex scheduling now that comes in this week. It's going to be pretty cool because now all of a sudden there's all these big games. There's a lot of big games this week, and they're all going to start going into these later games. And now all of a sudden on Sundays you're going to start seeing really elite games at 4 and at 8:20.
Yeah, so like I said, I feel a little confident. The thing with Kansas City, I've been saying this every week. This is the week. Well, finally was their week. Whether they can or not, we shall see. But yeah, I did have them as part of my Parlay Power Play of the week last week.
I'll tell you what, Mitch Uritz, who checked in, one of the people that checked in,
Thanks,
go
Mitch.
Rams. That didn't work out. Justin Fuller, obviously, he's talking about, he's a big college guy, so he's talking about the San Diego State game's tough choice. Sam Wilson, he wants some merch. We'll
get a merch.
Send us their address.
Send us your address. Yeah.
And of course, our guy, Angel O.
Angel every week.
I completely bombed last week. Hey, listen, join the club, Angel. It happens. You did really well the week before. You cleaned up. You won all those things.
I have to say hi to Dan Collins. Dan Collins is starting to quote me, and he knows Angel O. That's how often he watches the podcast. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, Dan Collins. So listen. You YouTubers, you're watching here again. Go to howtobet.com. Get the previews from the genius. Get the updated odds, the updated injury reports, special promotional offers, exclusive promotional offers. Go down, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the subscribe button twice, hit the notification bell. Go down further, leave comments. Leave comments. You want merch? Ask for merch. We'll get you out merch. Get us your address and we'll get it out to you. Give us comments, good or bad. And then, of course, go down a little further. All the links are linked in the description box, and that's where you can get those previews and updated odds and all that stuff. So get there early, get there often, because things are changing. Remember to tweet at us. You could tweet at us at Feinline, FEINLINE 33. He's at Prodigal Sean. The Prodigal Sean.
On the gram, too. With
on the gram. So, yes.
I'd like to just give a little shout out or something, talk about this. How about the Lions didn't lose a game?
The Lions didn't lose.
And they did, but being the Lions, they also didn't win the game.
They did not win the game.
And how about Pittsburgh? So they go into this game, first of all, and before we talk about Pittsburgh, Jared Goff had like 29 yards of passing in regulation. And
terrible.
I mean,
worst quarterback in the NFL. Well, now there's not even a 1A, 1B because Darnold's out. So it's all Goff.
But Pittsburgh,
it's all you, Jared Goff.
So Pittsburgh tied, right? And you're like, oh man, how they tie against thing? That actually helped them. It helped them in the standings because now they're 5-3-1. Everyone else lost, so they're like 6-4, whatever. So that may end up being a big tie at the end of the season because they're going to have one less loss than these other teams.
Yeah, and the Steelers look like they're going to make the playoffs. I don't know how
it's a mirage.
They're not even good. They're not even good.
But Big Ben plays that game. I mean, they win easily.
I think so.
The thing. That's the crazy thing.
Even as old as he looks, they probably win the game. I would think so.
And they're on Sunday Night Football, which we'll talk about. I have some stuff up about that. I basically what I said is try to figure out the Steelers and the Chargers, and if you can, try to decipher this 2021 National Football League from week to week. If you can, I might be able to get you a position at Fort Meade.
Ah, yes.
Do you know what Fort Meade is?
Fort Meade.
Do you know what?
It's a fort.
Do you know what's hosted there?
No.
The National Security Agency.
Okay.
Where all the hackers are.
The hack. Okay.
So they do the code breaking and stuff like this. Well, I don't even think people like that. I don't even think Elliot Alderson would be able to figure this out. Like, it's impossible. And
Albert Einstein himself couldn't.
But why do you think it is? Why? Is it just because we're in the middle of the season? Is it because nobody's any good?
I think that's it. There's no great teams. I mean, how do you figure Tampa goes in and loses to the Washington football team?
Trey's team.
Trey Wright, our producer, his team. It's hard to believe. How about the Eagles now on a run? Eagles. Do you know the Eagles don't get on an airplane again this year? They won't have to get on an airplane again this year. They have home games, and their mostly home games, and their road games are New York and Washington. So they won't have to. That's a big advantage. When you don't have to travel like that, that's a big advantage.
Although they're pretty good on the road.
They've all of a sudden have figured out that you run the ball consistently, and you're going to be fine, and that's what they're doing.
Yeah. Look, I mean, they play the Saints at home, Giants, the Jets.
Yeah.
Washington, Giants, Washington, Cowboys. I said this before this season. I actually thought the over-under total for the Eagles was a little bit low.
What was it, 6, I think?
Yeah.
6.5?
Yeah, they're definitely going to smash that. They could get to like 8 and 9. 8 and 9 could make the playoffs in the NFC, by the way. I was trying to figure this out. And if you go to the lines for Week 11 story, like the overarching preview of thing, trying to figure this out. And the NFC, there's the AFC is crazy. It's 11 teams that are 5-5 or better, and the NFC it's a completely opposite. Only 6 teams have winning records, right?
Yeah,
5 are locked in basically to make the playoffs because of the thing. But there's 7 teams that make the playoffs, so someone might make the playoffs at 8 and 9, 7 and 10.
Yeah.
If you can go on a run and win a couple games here, I mean, the Eagles, as bad as Washington is, as bad as the Giants are, as bad as the Falcons are, as bad as the 49ers are, if you could go on a run and win some games, you could get in the playoffs.
So it's back to parity, I guess, in the NFL.
That's what they want, right?
I don't know if that's a great thing.
That's what they want.
That's what they want. They have it, but I don't know that it's a great thing.
They want everybody to be mediocre, man. We can talk about that on a different podcast, the political podcast or something like that. Yeah. But they don't want greatness, man. They don't want greatness.
So, again, watching us on YouTube, go hit that like button, the subscribe button, the notification bell. Go down a little further, leave comments. You want merch, ask for merch, give us your address, and we'll get you out merch. Comments, good, bad, ugly, we don't care. We're ready for it. And then, of course, a little further down, hit that description box. All the links are there for your previews, your injury updates, Sean's previews, your injury updates, your line movement, which is big, and the lines have been moving a lot this year.
And the injury updates, crazy, because all these, you got these COVID things, and the Cardinals last week, the COVID stuff with Big Ben. Yeah. I mean, you have to be on top of that.
So get to that. Remember, bet with your head, not with your heart. Don't go over your means. Some people do it for entertainment. Some people do it to make money. And you can do both. But whatever you do, bet within your means. Don't go over it. And if you do have a gambling problem or think you do, there's help out there, including 1-800-GAMBLER. We have plenty to do. I have, I feel confident this week. Our Parlay Power Plays of the week coming up after this. You are watching and listening to How to Bet on the HowToBet.com podcast.
Let's get it.